Welcome back, Geordies. I could not be happier to welcome you back to Newcastle's match reaction as the roof was raised by Will Asula as Newcastle put it away against Man United at St James's Park 2-1 with 10 men. This game had everything, and I'll be honest, for all the criticism that we give of Eddie Howe, of the players last week, what a totally contrast performance tonight. So many controversial decisions in this one. But I'll start off. Jacob Ramsey receiving a second booking for simulation. And this one will spark... Any Manchester United fan will say this is a dive. Most Newcastle fans will probably say it's a shocker. I'll tell you where I'm at. I genuinely believe Jacob Ramsey is waiting for that contact to come from the keeper. And the contact comes, but it's that minimal. He cannot go down for a penalty. I believe he's looking for it. I believe his body shape, the way he's pushed the ball, he's waiting for the contact. But when it doesn't come, I don't think that's a dive. I think he has gone down more out of frustration than a dive. But either way, second yellow, Peter Banks making the quick decision without using VAR or any means of communication to go straight to yellow card and send off Jacob Ramsey. And then Anthony Gordon, and this is where I feel is contrast of opinion. I don't believe Anthony Gordon is a good number 9, but tonight he was fantastic. And I don't feel he's shown up enough this season, but tonight he was fantastic. 9 out of 10 tonight, Anthony Gordon in the right positions. His movement was better. Coming in off the left-hand side, puts the ball in between, I think it's Mazraoui and Bruno Fernandes, and Fernandes trips him, and it's a clear penalty. And 9 out of 9 for Anthony Gordon from the spot. And you can't knock those statistics. 9 goals out of 9 penalties. And I have to be honest, come what I thought was the end of that first half, I was thinking, we put a pen away, we're going to go in 1-0 up, regroup, try and restructure, find some shape, defend out this and hit on the break. But sure enough, and this is where I get confused, we play 9 minutes of injury time in the first half when there should have only been 3. And Bruno Fernandes puts in a cross from a dead ball, and Casemiro with the header straight past Aaron Ramsdale. And I'll be quite honest, at that point I'm thinking, this is the same shit over and over and over again. We've had it happen so many times in the past where we play these extra minutes that weren't put up on the board. So we go in at half-time 1-1. And that first half, I'll be honest, some of the patterns of play, some of the link-up was probably the best we've seen from Newcastle this season against the top team. Probably up there with us when we beat Man City earlier in the season. And that first half, I give credit. Anthony Gordon, 9 out of 10. Joel Linton, phenomenal, 10 out of 10. Jacob Ramsey, who I felt was hard done by, really hard done by the decision to be sent off for a second yellow. 8 out of 10. And for the first time, Anthony Elanga, I've got to say, Anthony Elanga looked to be putting in a shift. My only problem with Elanga is those deep crosses are way too deep. And I don't know whether that's a confidence thing or he just gets out there and tries to hit the back post. But he needs to keep that cross lower and whipped rather than this floated high ball to the back post. But otherwise, fairly decent. And I've got to give it to him. The 2 players that I thought let us down against Everton, Dan Burn and Kieran Trippier, were absolutely phenomenal. And then going into the second half, obviously, Harvey Barnes off, Joe Willock on, and I thought Joe Willock put in a real shift tonight as well. And, you know, like I say, Dan Burn, Kieran Trippier, absolutely fantastic. And when Willa Sula comes on, and I know there's been a lot of criticism of Willa Sula, and all I would say is it's finite moments. He doesn't get enough game time to really show what he can do. And I know a lot of people have this view of he's 23 years old, going on 24. He's at that age where we either need to move him on or he needs to step up and be that striker that we need. But there must be something in him that Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall have seen to not have accepted a double the money transfer this summer and let him on his way. Because regardless of what people say about us being short of a striker, he's put in a shift tonight. And I'll be quite honest, when he wins that ball back, plays it off to Trippier, and Trippier plays the ball down the line to him, and all I'm thinking is carbon copy of, I think it was a goal against Colchester in the League Cup a season or 2 seasons ago. The little step over, cut inside and just whip it, absolutely whip it. And I'm just begging for him to shoot when he gets onto that left foot. And sure enough, that goal is absolute class. There's not a keeper in the Premier League that's saving that. Whipped round the defender, just inside the post. Absolutely fucking fantastic. And the fans, honestly, the fans go absolutely wild. The fans were the 11th man tonight after Ramsey went off. And that is what carried us through. And I'll be quite honest, from such a stark contrast in performance from that Everton game to tonight's performance, it leaves you wondering why we can't turn up and do that against the smaller clubs. But it leaves you with hope that we might be able to do that against the big clubs in this next 5 games in this run-in, in this really important run-in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little brief overcap tonight, and then I'm going to come back with a full match reaction tomorrow. But I honestly thought, typical Peter Banks, the officiating, I didn't feel it was good up until the point the whole crowd was behind Peter Banks when that second goal went in. And then suddenly every time there was a 50-50, we got the free kick, we got the free kick, we got the free kick. But I'll be quite honest, I think Peter Banks was absolutely swayed by the atmosphere in the ground, by the occasion, the stature of the clubs. I felt like his refereeing, the decision making tonight was really bad. And not just the Ramsey decision. I'll be quite honest, the Ramsey decision, take it away. 50% of Premier League referees give that as a second yellow and 50% don't. But I genuinely feel he should be consulting the lino, people at Stockley Park. Just give him a fucking rundown of what they see on the screen, because I believe he's looking for contact. But when it doesn't come, he doesn't dive. There's no insinuation that is a dive. There's no arms out. There's no flag for a penalty. There's no one going over screaming, it's a dead ringer. So I feel it was really harsh. And a great performance. Absolutely great performance. Like I say, get down there in the comments. Get involved. Like and subscribe. And I'll leave you with, there is nothing better than hearing the Geordies singing, "You've seen United, now fuck off home." I'll see you in the next one, guys.